Amanda, I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my list of winter horror movies. This list is 18 movies long, but I decided to make it a little bit shorter for the sake of the video. But if you want the full list, you can go on the description box down below and you're going to be finding the link for my Letterboxd profile, and it's also going to be available on my website and also on my Instagram profile. So there you're going to be able to find the full list, but for now I'm going to be giving you guys my 10 winter horror movies that you must watch this season. I usually do just a Christmas watch list, but I wanted to bring more movies, and while I was doing the research I realized that there were movies that could be watched during the season but they don't fit Christmas but rather winter. So that's why I decided to do a winter's watch list, and next week will be available my Christmas horror movies watch list. So that's why I decided to do separate watch lists, and because I feel that it's going to be less confusing. So without anything else to say, let's get right into it. And as always, I'm going to be giving you guys the title, synopsis, and where you're going to be able to find these movies. And without anything else to say, let's get into the video. For the sake of the list, I am going to be talking about these movies in chronological order, and I am going to start with The Shining from 1980. This one follows a family heads to an isolated hotel for the winter, where a sinister presence influences the father into violence. At the same time, his psychic son sees horrifying forebodings from both the past and the future. The Shining is available on Prime Video. If you have never watched The Shining, take this as a sign to do it. It's a classic for a reason. It's one of my favorites from the 80s, so take this as a sign if you have never watched it to do it now. Next is another 80s classic, and it's The Thing from 1982. This one follows a research team in Antarctica is haunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. And this one is available on video on demand. Now this one, what makes it so special is the practical effects. John Carpenter did a fantastic job here. So this, again, if you have never watched this one, do it. Seriously, this is one of those films that you need to watch at least once in your life. I did 2 videos about that, but take this one as a sign. The Thing is so damn good. Those practical effects. Yeah, the reality is that there are very few movies that could be on the same level because they are so damn good. Next is Curtains from 1983. This one follows 6 young actresses that auditioning for a movie role at a remote mansion are targeted by a mysterious masked murder. This one is available on Prime Video, on Tubi, and also on Peacock TV. This one was one that I found out about it because I keep seeing the same frame of the mask killer, and I thought, damn, that looks funny as hell. So I decided to research, and I eventually was able to find the movie, and I saw it, and I ended up liking it way more than I expected. So if you have ever seen that frame, that I'm going to be putting it here, and now you know that it's from a horror movie called Curtains. And although it may not sound that it's about winter, it's set during the winter, and there is the requirement for being on this list. You need to be horror movie set during the winter. That's it. So that's why this film is right here. Next is another adaptation from Stephen King's book, and is Misery. This one follows after a famous author is rescued from a car crash by a fan of his novels. He comes to realize that the care he is receiving is only the beginning of a nightmare of captivity and abuse. This one is available on video on demand. Katie Bates won an Oscar for this movie. That's all you need to know. This is an excellent one. It brings the isolation to a whole new level, and how sometimes fans can be overly obsessive, but Katie Bates, she killed her role. This one is amazing. It's one of my favorite adaptations from Stephen King, and I do consider that it's one of the best. I will have to sit down and watch all of them. It's a long list since a lot of Stephen King's books have been adapted already, but I do feel that Misery is at least a top 3 best adaptations from Stephen King. Next is a favorite of mine, and it's 30 Days of Night. This one follows after an Alaskan town is plunged into darkness for a month. It is attacked by a bloodthirsty gang of vampires. This one is available on video on demand. If vampires can be scary already, imagine living for 30 days without the sun. And we all know that the sun is probably the best weapon against vampires. So imagine 30 days without the sun and you are being chased and haunted by bloodthirsty vampires. This film, I remember the first time that I saw it, they were putting it on one of the local channels here, and I just sat down to watch it at night because I had nothing else to do and I had no idea about this film. I didn't know what to expect. I ended up loving it. For some reason that I don't know, I enjoy horror movies that are set during the winter, but probably is because they bring this creepy atmosphere, they are dark, and also because of the isolation. This is a common theme between all these movies. You're going to realize if you watch them or if you have watched them already, is that the winter and the snow, they all bring isolation one way or another. One of my biggest fears is to get stranded in the middle of nowhere. So although it can be contradictory for me to watch a film that has one of my biggest fears, I enjoyed it. It's not something that I want to experience, hell no, but still I enjoy watching movies with that sort of stuff. And I love the snow and the winter and the whole visual aspect, so I think that adds to the experience. And also, again, it's very dark, and the blood with the snow looks beautiful to me. I like vampires, so this one is the perfect combination. The next one is Wind Chill. This one follows two college students that share a ride home for the holidays, but when they break down on a deserted stretch of road, they are preyed upon by the ghosts of people who have died there. And this one is available on video on demand. This is a road trip that went horribly wrong. This is a film that I found out about it just searching for something to watch. I have never heard about this film until I think that maybe was a couple of months ago. This one is a pretty recent watch, but I ended up liking it. Has Emily Blunt in it. It's an actress that I really like, so I enjoyed this one, so hence it's on the list. May not be excellent. I haven't really seen the general opinion of everyone, but I enjoyed it, so if you have never heard of it, then now you know. The next one is Let the Right One In. This one follows Oscar, an overlooked and bullied boy, finds love and revenge through Ellie, a beautiful but peculiar girl. And this one is available on Prime Video. This is another vampire story, but it's such a good one. And it has an American remake that came out 2 years later. This one came out in 2008 and the remake came out in 2010, starring Chloe Grace Moritz, and it's called Let Me In. These two are both excellent. So if you have watched one of those, I will suggest you to watch the one you haven't seen. So if you have watched the remake, watch the original. If you have watched the original, go and watch the remake. There is even a series that Showtime did last year. It's also a good adaptation. This story has been well adapted, and I think I could call it beautiful because it has friendship, love, but also the creepy side. It's a vampire girl and she has her own struggles. But I really like it. This movie, again, for me, both the original and the remake are equally good, so that's why I will always recommend both. The next one is Frozen, and no, not Frozen from Disney. Frozen from 2010. This one follows three skiers that are stranded on a chairlift, are forced to make life or death choices, which prove more perilous than staying put and freezing to death. This one is available on Prime Video. I remember the first time that I saw this movie, I only saw the poster and it said Frozen, and I was like, wait, I thought that the only movie that was called Frozen was Elsa and Anna from Disney. So I decided to watch it because curiosity killed the cat, and I ended up enjoying it way more than I expected, since again it's isolation, but it's also one location for the majority of the movie because they get stranded very early on the movie, so the rest of it is them trying to survive since they get stranded and they are not going to get any help. I think that is like 3-4 days because us on the weekend, and where they are, they will not be open until a couple of days later. It's creepy as hell. I have never actually skied in my life, and I just know that if I ever do it, you will not catch me at night. Hell no, there's no way that I will do it at night because I will be scared. I know that it's almost impossible to happen, but the fear has been planted there. So just for the sake of my peace of mind, I will do it just on the daylight, and also because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be awful. Like, I have seen so many videos of people skiing for the first time, and I just know I'm not going to be good. Maybe one day I will do it, maybe never, who knows. But if you're someone who skis, maybe skip this movie, or maybe you want to get yourself into it because you love the sport. Next we have Run Turn for Bloody Beginnings. This is the first prequel of the franchise, and it follows a group of college students that get lost in a storm during their snowmobiling trip and take shelter in an abandoned sanitarium, which, unbeknownst to them, is home to deformed cannibals. And this one is available on video on demand. Now, if you have ever watched Run Turn, you know that they do some brief explanation of the origin of the three cannibals. But this film takes that and throw it out of the window, and it brings a new origin story to these three cannibals. This one actually has a sequel that can work a little bit better with the original storyline of the first one. But when it comes to this one, it completely changes the origin and everything about it. But when it comes to their characteristics and what they do and how they look, it remained mostly the same. What I like it about this one is that it's 10 times creepier in my opinion, because they get stranded in the middle of nowhere at this abandoned place, and these three are going to hunt them and they're going to eat them. And the ending, to this day, I am never going to forget it, because it came kind of out of nowhere. If you have watched it, you know what I'm talking about. So if you like films about cannibalism that are slasher, maybe you will want to sit down and watch this one. And at last for the video is The Lodge. This one came out in 2019 and follows a soon-to-be stepmom Mrs. Known with her fiance's two children at a remote holiday village. Just as relations begin to turn between the trio, some strange and frightening events take place, and this one is available on video on demand. The first time that I saw this movie, I had no idea what to expect. I only saw that it had good reviews and it was being recommended. I think that was HBO Max back in the day, I don't remember. But I just sat down and watched it and I loved it. It surprised me. Once again, it wasn't what I expecting. I really like it that, for me at least, it wasn't predictable. The ending shocked me to my core. The film deals with massive suicide and cults and religion and religious trauma. There's a lot of heaviness on the story, and the way that it's portrayed, I think that they did that pretty well. And also with the kids and being isolated on this cabin, it's just the three of them. The kids are being a menace. They are provoking her. She has some issues. They are just making it worse. So that's what starts everything. So by the time that it ends, it's like, whoa. So this is one that I love. I could understand if some people does not like it. At least for me, it's one that I love, because this is a must watch. And with this, I end the list. Like I said, the original list is 18 horror movies, but if not, I will be talking here. I have been talking here for 19 minutes and 53 seconds. Of course, this is going to be edited and there are things that are going to be chopping, but I have been talking here already for a long time. And 18 horror movies here, I will be talking here for half an hour or even a little bit more. And I don't want to bore you. So again, if you want the full list, in the description box down below, you're going to be finding the link. But with this, I end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which one is your must-watch winter horror movie, because again, this is just winter. Next week, we are going into Christmas. So let me know down below. And also, happy Friday the 13th. This is the last one of the year. This is why I have my ugly sweater from Friday the 13th. I love this. It's so damn cozy and I really like the design. And this is actually from Nightmare Before Christmas. I even had to like switch it over since it has the jack bow, the bed here. I don't know if you can really, I don't know, you can see it right there. But this thing is old as hell. This one I got it as a gift from the brand fun.com around 2 years ago, but I just love this, so that's why I am like this. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Game over.